Hello everyone and welcome to our video on Britain under Rome. In this video, we'll be exploring the fascinating history of how Britain became a part of the vast Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, at its height, stretched from the Middle East to Western Europe, and Britain played an important role in its expansion. So, let's dive in and explore the rich history of Britain under Rome. Julius Caesar invaded Britain in 55 and 54 BC as part of his Gallic Wars. The Gallic Wars were waged between 58 and 50 BC by the Roman general Julius Caesar against the peoples of Gaul, present-day France, Belgium, Germany and Switzerland. Gallic, Germanic, and British tribes fought to defend their homelands against an aggressive Roman campaign. The wars culminated in the decisive Battle of Alesia in 52 BC. In which a complete Roman victory resulted in the expansion of the Roman Republic over the whole of Gaul. Julius Caesar's attempts to invade Britain continued, but it was not until AD 43 when Emperor Claudius successfully conquered Britain. The Romans established their capital in Colchester, and soon they began to construct a network of roads and fortifications across Britain. Under the 2nd century emperors Hadrian and Antoninus Pius, 2 walls were built to defend the Roman province from the Caledonians, whose realms in the Scottish Highlands were never controlled. Around 197 AD, the Severan reforms divided Britain into 2 provinces, Britannia Superior and Britannia Inferior. During the Diocletian reforms, at the end of the 3rd century, Britannia was divided into 4 provinces under the direction of a vicarius, who administered the diocese of the Britons. A 5th province, Valentia, is attested in the later 4th century. For much of the later period of the Roman occupation, Britannia was subject to barbarian invasions and often came under the control of imperial usurpers and imperial pretenders. The final Roman withdrawal from Britain occurred around 410. The native kingdoms are considered to have formed sub-Roman Britain after that. The Romans brought with them their culture, language, and laws. They introduced a new way of life to the Britons. The Romans established a system of governance that was based on a hierarchy. The governors were appointed by the emperor and were in charge of the provinces. The local administration was managed by local elites. The Romans introduced new ways of farming and agriculture to Britain. They encouraged trade and commerce by constructing roads and ports. The Romans also introduced new industries such as pottery, glassmaking, and metalworking. The economy flourished under Roman rule, and Britain became an important trading hub. Following the conquest of the Britons, a distinctive Romano-British culture emerged as the Romans introduced improved agriculture, urban planning, industrial production, and architecture. The Roman goddess Britannia became the female personification of Britain. After the initial invasions, Roman historians generally only mention Britain in passing. Thus, most present knowledge derives from archaeological investigations and occasional epigraphic evidence lauding the Britannic achievements of an emperor. Roman citizens settled in Britain from many parts of the empire. The Romans brought with them their religion, which was polytheistic. They introduced new gods and goddesses to the Britons, and they also built temples and shrines across Britain. However, the Britons also retained their own religious beliefs, and over time, a fusion of Roman and British religions emerged. The Romans introduced new architectural styles to Britain. They constructed public buildings such as baths, amphitheatres, and temples. The Romans also built villas for the wealthy and forts for the army. The most famous Roman monument in Britain is, of course, the Hadrian's Wall, which stretches for 73 miles across northern England. The decline of the Roman Empire in the 4th and 5th centuries AD also impacted Britain. The Romans withdrew their troops from Britain to defend their territories in Europe. This left Britain vulnerable to attacks from invading tribes such as the Saxons and the Angles. This led to a period of instability and conflict, known as the Dark Ages. The legacy of Roman Britain can be seen in the language, culture, and architecture of modern Britain. The Latin language, which was spoken by the Romans, influenced the English language. Roman architecture has influenced British architecture, and many English towns and cities still have Roman remains. Britain under Rome was a fascinating period in British history. The Romans introduced new ways of life, culture, and governance to the Britons. The economy flourished, and new industries were introduced. The Romans also left a lasting legacy in Britain, which can still be seen today. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed learning about Britain under Rome.